So in this country, we have a well-known form of regressive taxation, which is the council tax. So council tax, for those who are not in the UK, is basically a tax you pay for living in home, which pretty much everybody has to do. And when it was originally introduced, the idea was that more expensive homes paid more, but they've kind of messed about with it over time, and it's ended up in a place where kind of everybody pays like almost a similar amount. That is a simplification, but for the purpose of explaining what regressive taxation is, let's assume that what council tax is everybody pays £2,000 a year. Everybody pays £2,000 a year. Doesn't matter what your income is. So you might see, oh, everybody pays the same. It's fantastic. That's like really, really fair. Everybody pays the same. But the problem is, even if your income is £2,000 a year, you pay £2,000 a year. And even if your income is £2 million a year, you're paying £2,000 a year. So the poorest people in the country are paying 100% of their income, and the richest people in the country are paying, that's going to be 0.1%. So a regressive tax is like this. It taxes the poor at an extremely high rate, and it taxes the rich at an extremely low rate. So if we were to draw that as a graph, here is your income. Your council tax rate is actually, as your income goes to zero, it becomes like infinite. So you can't, it's going to be this kind of classic, what in maths we call a parabolic graph. The poorer you are, the higher your tax rate. And these are bad. This is bad because it means that the tax burden is falling overwhelmingly on the poor and the very poor. So why are tariffs a regressive tax? The answer is, so income tax taxes you on your income, but tariffs are a tax that taxes you on what you buy. So actually we have these kinds of taxes already, which you'll be familiar with. We have in the UK, we have VAT, and we have in the US sales tax. These are consumption taxes instead of income taxes. Now, you might think, well, that's not such a big deal because rich people consume more. Rich people spend more money, so rich people will pay more in consumption taxes. And that is true. The problem is something that we've spoken about a number of times on this channel, which that rich people have a low marginal propensity to consume. I don't know why I always write in capitals on this channel. In real life, I do use lowercase letters. So what this means is, so if we consider poor people, probably shouldn't, people who have a lower income, they don't have much money, it's hard to live, they spend basically everything they get. Whereas if you consider somebody like, I've often used Rishi Sunak as an example, or Elon Musk, somebody who has a passive income of 20, 30 million, 50 million, a billion pounds a year, they can't spend hardly any of that. So the bigger your income, the lower you spend as a proportion of your income. So if we put spending here and income here, somebody who spent all of their income would always be on this straight line. Their income is exactly equal to their spending. But in real life, the richer you get, the less and less of your income you spend. So these lines kind of separate. So what this means is rich people spend a very low percentage of their income. Poor people spend a very high percentage of their income. So if we tax people based on their spending rather than their income, then the richest people will get taxed at the lowest rate. So what this means is tariffs and VAT and sales taxes are all regressive taxes, which means they fall overwhelmingly on the poor. So if your plan is to replace income tax with tariffs or VAT or sales tax, then you are taking money away from the poorest people in your society because they have the highest rate of spending, and you are giving that money to the richest people in your society because they have the highest income. So a shift away from income tax to tariffs is like increasing VAT, it's like increasing sales taxes. It will hurt the poorest, and the way they will see that pain is not money being taken out of their pay packet, which is what people are used to seeing. They will see it in higher prices, otherwise known as inflation. All right, so those